The protective rowan tree, Britain's ancient guardian. Across Britain's countryside, there is a tree that has carried a powerful reputation for centuries. It is not the tallest tree in the forest, nor the strongest, nor the most valuable for timber. Yet for generations, it was treated with a level of respect that bordered on reverence. This tree is the rowan, also known as the mountain ash. The rowan has long been associated with protection, particularly protection against witchcraft, harmful spirits, and ill fortune. In traditional British folklore, few natural objects carried as much symbolic power as the rowan tree. Its presence near a home or farm was believed to guard the people who lived there. To understand why this tree became so important, we must look at both its physical appearance and the beliefs that surrounded it. The rowan is a relatively small tree, often growing along hillsides and in open countryside. It produces clusters of bright red berries in late summer and autumn. These berries stand out vividly against the green leaves, making the tree easily recognizable even from a distance. But it was not only the berries that captured people's attention. If you look closely at the bottom of a rowan berry, you will notice a small natural pattern that resembles a five-pointed star. In many traditions, the five-pointed star is considered a protective symbol. Because of this natural shape, people believed the berries themselves possessed protective power. Over time, the rowan became associated with safety, guardianship, and the ability to repel harmful forces. Throughout Britain and parts of northern Europe, the rowan tree was often planted close to houses. The idea was simple: if the tree stood near the home, its protective influence would extend to the people living there. Some households planted rowan trees directly beside the front gate or near the entrance to the property. Others placed them near barns or stables to protect animals. Livestock were extremely valuable to rural families, and protecting them from illness or misfortune was very important. The rowan tree was believed to help with that protection. But the use of rowan was not limited to planting trees. Branches of rowan wood were also used in a variety of protective practices. A small branch might be hung above a doorway, placed inside a barn, or attached to a gate. In some regions, people tied pieces of red thread around rowan twigs before placing them near entrances. The red thread was thought to strengthen the protective effect. In Scotland, this practice was particularly well known. Rowan crosses tied with red thread were sometimes hung inside homes or above doors. These crosses were simple objects, usually made by tying two small rowan twigs together, yet they were believed to offer powerful protection against witchcraft. In parts of northern England, similar traditions existed. Farmers might attach rowan branches to the harnesses of horses or hang them near cattle stalls. The belief was that the tree could prevent illness or magical harm from affecting animals. These practices reflect the deep importance of livestock in rural life. For farming families, the health of animals was closely tied to survival. Protective traditions involving rowan helped provide reassurance. The rowan tree also appears frequently in older legends and folklore. In many stories, it is described as a tree that spirits or magical beings cannot easily approach. Some traditions suggest that malevolent spirits avoided rowan trees entirely. Because of this belief, rowan branches were sometimes carried during travel. A traveler walking through lonely countryside might carry a small piece of rowan wood for protection. The branch served as a kind of portable safeguard. Rowan wood was also occasionally used to make small protective charms. These might take the form of carved wooden pieces or small amulets carried in pockets. The protective reputation of the rowan tree appears to stretch back many centuries. Some historians believe its importance may even predate Christianity in Britain. Ancient Celtic traditions often placed strong spiritual significance on trees. Different species were believed to hold different symbolic meanings. The rowan may have been associated with protection even in those early belief systems. When Christianity spread across Britain, many older traditions were not entirely abandoned. Instead, they blended with newer religious beliefs. This blending is visible in many folk customs. Rowan crosses tied with red thread provide a good example. The cross shape reflects Christian symbolism, while the use of rowan wood reflects older folk beliefs. Together, they formed a combined tradition of protection. This blending of religious and folk traditions was common throughout British history. People rarely saw a contradiction between the two. A prayer might be spoken while a protective charm was placed near the doorway. Both were understood as ways of guarding the household. The protective reputation of the rowan tree also appears in several well-known sayings. One traditional rhyme from Scotland states, "Rowan tree and red thread put the witches to their speed." This short rhyme reflects the belief that the tree could drive away witchcraft or harmful magic. The rowan's association with protection became so strong that in some regions, cutting down a rowan tree was considered unlucky. People feared that removing the tree might remove the protection it provided. Because of this belief, rowan trees were often left standing even when other trees were cleared from the land. Another interesting aspect of the rowan's reputation is its widespread presence across different regions. Although local traditions varied, the protective symbolism of the rowan appears throughout Scotland, England, Ireland, and parts of Wales. This widespread presence suggests the belief was deeply rooted in the cultural landscape of the British Isles. Over time, as scientific explanations for illness and misfortune became more widely accepted, many of the old protective traditions gradually faded. Yet the symbolic importance of the rowan tree never completely disappeared. Even today, the tree remains a fixture of folklore, storytelling, and modern interpretations of traditional magic. Many people continue to recognize the rowan as a symbol of protection. The tree's bright berries still stand out against the autumn landscape, much as they did centuries ago. When historians study traditions like the protective use of rowan, they gain insight into how earlier communities understood the world around them. In a time when life could be unpredictable and dangerous, people sought ways to create safety. They used the materials available to them: plants, wood, metal, and simple household objects. These materials became part of a network of protective traditions. The rowan tree was one of the most respected of these natural guardians. Its presence beside a home offered reassurance. Its branches hung above doorways symbolized safety. Its wood carried the belief that the household was protected. Today, the rowan still grows across hillsides, villages, and hedgerows throughout Britain. Most people passing by may notice a small tree with clusters of red berries. But hidden within that tree is a long history of belief. A history shaped by centuries of tradition, folklore, and the human desire for protection.